One day, your life will be the result of what you did today. Not what you planned, not what you wished for, not what you promised yourself, what you actually did. The painful truth is that most people are not defeated by failure. They are defeated by hesitation. Every dream dies a little each day it is postponed. So the question is not whether you are capable. The question is, how much longer will you wait before you take action? Fear is one of the most powerful forces in the human mind. It has stopped countless dreams before they ever had a chance to become reality. It whispers excuses, creates doubts, and convinces people to stay exactly where they are. It tells them they are not ready, not qualified, not talented enough, not strong enough. And the tragedy is that many people listen. They spend years waiting for the fear to disappear before taking the first step. But fear does not disappear through waiting. It grows stronger in silence. It grows stronger every time you postpone action. It grows stronger every time you choose comfort over courage. Think about the moments in your life when you were most afraid. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd, starting a business, changing careers, ending a toxic relationship, or pursuing a dream that others did not understand. Before taking action, your mind probably created hundreds of worst-case scenarios. It imagined failure. It imagined embarrassment. It imagined rejection. But once you finally acted, something remarkable happened. The fear that once seemed like a mountain suddenly became much smaller than you expected. That is because fear thrives in imagination but weakens in reality. Imagine a person standing at the edge of a cold lake. They want to jump in, but they hesitate. They analyze the temperature. They question themselves. They step forward and then step back. Every second of hesitation makes the water seem colder. Every moment of overthinking increases the discomfort. But the instant they jump, everything changes. The anticipation disappears. The battle in their mind ends. They adapt. They move. They survive. What looked terrifying from the shore becomes manageable in the water. Life works the same way. Most people are not trapped because they lack ability. They are trapped because they are waiting to feel fearless. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action in the presence of fear. The strongest people are not those who never feel afraid. They are those who refuse to let fear make their decisions. Look at any successful person. Before the victories, before the recognition, before the achievements, there was uncertainty. There were sleepless nights. There were moments when they questioned themselves. Yet they acted anyway. They made the phone call. They launched the project. They took the risk. They stepped into the unknown. And with every action, their confidence grew stronger. Because confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. Every action sends a message to your mind. It says, I am stronger than my excuses. I am greater than my doubts. I will not be controlled by fear. And the more often you act, the more evidence you create that you can handle challenges. Eventually, the very things that once terrified you become normal. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for fear to leave. Fear may never completely disappear, but it does not have to. What matters is your willingness to move forward despite it. Take the first step, then take another and another, because the life you want is not on the other side of comfort. It is on the other side of action. The moment you move, fear begins to lose its power. And the moment fear loses its power, your true potential begins to emerge. Most people spend their lives waiting for motivation. They wait to feel inspired before they start. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect moment. And while they are waiting, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. Their dreams remain exactly where they started, in their imagination. The hard truth is that motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Some mornings you wake up feeling unstoppable. Other mornings you feel tired, discouraged, and uncertain. If your actions depend on your feelings, your progress will always be inconsistent. Discipline is different. Discipline does not ask how you feel. Discipline does not negotiate with excuses. Discipline does not care whether you are tired, distracted, or uninspired. It simply says, do what must be done. Imagine two people standing at the beginning of the same journey. Both have big dreams. Both want success. Both want a better life. The first person works only when they feel motivated. They are enthusiastic for a few days, maybe even a few weeks. They make plans. They talk about their goals. They feel excited. But when challenges appear, when the work becomes repetitive, when the excitement fades, they stop. They wait for motivation to return. The second person is different. They understand that success is not built on emotion. It is built on commitment. They show up whether they feel like it or not. They continue when the work becomes difficult. They continue when nobody is watching. They continue when there is no applause, no recognition, and no immediate reward. Months later, the difference between these two people becomes impossible to ignore. One is still waiting. The other is transforming their life. This is the power of discipline. Think about a martial artist training before sunrise. The alarm clock rings. The body feels heavy. The bed feels comfortable. Every excuse appears at once. But the warrior gets up anyway. Not because they feel motivated, but because they have trained themselves to honor their commitment. Day after day, year after year, this simple act builds strength that most people never develop. The real battle is not against the outside world. The real battle is against the voice inside that constantly seeks comfort. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you become stronger. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust in yourself. And self-trust is one of the most powerful forms of confidence a human being can possess. When you know that you will act regardless of your emotions, fear loses its influence. Doubt loses its influence. Circumstances lose their influence. The people you admire most are not successful because they were always motivated. They are successful because they mastered consistency. They understood that greatness is not created by occasional bursts of effort. It is created by repeated actions performed over long periods of time. The champion trains when others rest. The entrepreneur works when others procrastinate. The student studies when others make excuses. So stop asking yourself whether you feel motivated today. That question is irrelevant. Ask yourself whether you are committed, because motivation may get you started, but discipline is what carries you across the finish line. The life you dream about will not be built on the days you feel inspired. It will be built on the days you don't feel like doing the work but choose to do it anyway. That is where true power is born. That is where character is forged. And that is where extraordinary lives are created. Many people look at extraordinary success and assume it happened overnight. They see the champion holding the trophy, the entrepreneur building a thriving business, the artist creating masterpieces, or the leader inspiring millions, and they believe there must be some secret advantage. They focus on the final result, but they never see the thousands of small actions that made that result possible. What they fail to understand is that greatness is rarely created in a single moment. It is built quietly, day by day, choice by choice, action by action. The world celebrates big victories, but life is transformed through small daily disciplines. Imagine a stonecutter standing before a massive rock. He strikes it once, and nothing happens. He strikes it again, and there is no visible change. 10 strikes, 50 strikes, 100 strikes. Still, the rock appears untouched. To an observer, it may seem like his effort is wasted. But then, on the 101st strike, the rock suddenly splits in two. Was it the final strike that broke the stone? No. It was every strike that came before it. Each one mattered. Each one weakened the resistance. Each one moved him closer to the breakthrough. Your life works the same way. Every time you wake up a little earlier to work on your goal, you are striking the stone. Every page you read, every workout you complete, every skill you practice, every difficult conversation you face, every step you take when you don't feel like moving forward, you are striking the stone. The results may not be visible today. They may not be visible next week. But something is happening beneath the surface. You are building strength. You are building character. You are building momentum. Most people quit because they underestimate the power of small actions. They want immediate results. They want dramatic transformation. They plant a seed and expect a tree the next morning. When progress seems slow, they become frustrated. They lose patience. They convince themselves that their efforts are not working. But nature teaches us a different lesson. A seed spends a long time growing beneath the ground before anyone sees a single leaf. The roots must grow first. The foundation must be built first. The same is true for your success. Think about someone who decides to improve their health. One workout does not change their body. One healthy meal does not transform their life. But if they continue day after day, week after week, month after month, something incredible happens. The small actions compound. The tiny improvements accumulate. Eventually, they become a completely different person. Not because of one giant effort, but because of hundreds of small decisions made consistently. This is where true power lies. Not in occasional bursts of motivation, but in daily commitment. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not always the most talented. They are often the most consistent. They understand that every day is an opportunity to move one step closer to the person they want to become. Never underestimate the significance of a single day. One day may seem small, one action may seem insignificant, but your future is being shaped by what you repeatedly do. The habits you practice today become the reality you live tomorrow. Keep moving forward. Keep showing up. Keep taking action even when the results are invisible. Because one day the breakthrough will come, and when it does, people will call it success. But you will know the truth. It was built through countless small actions, repeated with courage, patience, and unwavering determination. One of the greatest obstacles standing between people and their dreams is not failure. It is not lack of talent. It is not lack of opportunity. It is overthinking. Every day, countless people remain trapped in the prison of their own minds. They analyze every possibility, calculate every risk, and search endlessly for certainty. They want guarantees before they begin. They want to know exactly how everything will unfold before taking the first step. But life does not work that way. Growth does not work that way. Success does not work that way. The mind is a powerful tool, but when left unchecked, it can become your greatest enemy. It can create problems that do not exist. It can magnify small challenges into impossible obstacles. It can convince you that you need more preparation, more knowledge, more confidence, or more time before you are ready. And while you are busy thinking, life keeps moving. Opportunities pass by. Dreams remain untouched. Potential remains hidden. Imagine standing at the edge of a forest with a destination somewhere deep inside. You want to reach it, but the path ahead is covered in fog. You cannot see every turn. You cannot see every obstacle. You cannot see the entire journey. Many people stand at that edge and refuse to move because they cannot see the whole path. They wait for the fog to disappear. They wait for perfect clarity. But the fog never lifts for those who stand still. The only way to see further is to take a step forward. With every step, more of the path reveals itself. This is one of life's greatest lessons. Clarity comes from action, not from endless thinking. Think about a child learning to walk. The child does not sit down and spend months analyzing balance, studying movement, or worrying about falling. The child simply tries. They stumble, they fall, they get back up. And through action, they learn. If they waited until they felt completely ready, they would never take a single step. Yet as adults, many people do exactly that. They spend years preparing for a life they never start. They dream about writing the book, but never write the first page. They dream about starting the business, but never make the first call. They dream about changing their lives, but remain trapped in endless cycles of planning and hesitation. The truth is that overthinking often disguises itself as productivity. It feels like progress because you are mentally engaged, but thinking about action is not action. Planning is important, but there comes a point where more planning becomes fear in disguise. The mind tells you that you are being careful, but what you are really doing is avoiding discomfort. Every successful person you admire has stepped into uncertainty. They did not have all the answers when they started. They learned through movement. They gained wisdom through experience. They discovered solutions because they were willing to act before everything was perfect. Your future will not be shaped by the ideas you keep in your head. It will be shaped by the actions you take in the real world. The longer you wait for certainty, the longer you delay your transformation. Stop demanding a perfect plan. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop allowing fear to hide behind endless analysis. Take the step. Make the call. Start the project. Begin the journey. Because the people who change their lives are not the ones who think the most. They are the ones who move despite uncertainty. They understand that action creates momentum, momentum creates confidence, and confidence creates results. The moment you stop overthinking and start moving, you stop being a spectator in your own life and become the creator of it. Every person dreams of growth. They dream of becoming stronger, wiser, more successful, more confident, and more fulfilled. Yet very few people are willing to embrace the one thing that makes growth possible: discomfort. They want the reward without the struggle. They want the transformation without the challenge. They want a new life while holding tightly to old habits. But life has a rule that cannot be avoided. Everything you want is outside your comfort zone. The comfort zone is a dangerous place. It feels safe. It feels familiar. It protects you from failure, rejection, and uncertainty. But it also protects you from growth. It keeps you repeating the same routines, making the same choices, and experiencing the same results. The comfort zone is not where dreams are built. It is where dreams slowly fade away. Imagine an eagle living its entire life inside a cage. The cage provides food. It provides shelter. It removes danger. Everything seems comfortable, but there is one problem. The eagle was born to fly. No matter how comfortable the cage becomes, it can never replace the freedom of the sky. Many people live exactly like that eagle. They stay in situations that feel safe, but prevent them from becoming who they are meant to be. They settle for security while sacrificing possibility. Growth begins the moment you step beyond what is familiar. Think about every meaningful achievement in your life. The first day at a new job, the first time speaking in front of an audience, the first difficult challenge you overcame, the first major goal you accomplished. Before each of those moments there was discomfort, there was uncertainty, there was fear. Yet those experiences became the very things that made you stronger. A blacksmith does not create a powerful sword by protecting the metal from heat. The metal must enter the fire. It must endure pressure. It must be shaped through resistance. Only then does it become something strong and valuable. Human beings are no different. Challenges are not punishments. They are opportunities to forge strength. Difficulties are not obstacles to growth. They are the path to growth. Look at an athlete preparing for competition. Every day they push beyond their limits. Their muscles burn. Their lungs ache. Their body begs them to stop. Yet they continue because they understand something that most people ignore. Growth lives where comfort ends. The stronger version of themselves is waiting on the other side of that temporary pain. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you want confidence, you must face situations that make you nervous. If you want success, you must take risks that others avoid. If you want wisdom, you must learn from mistakes. If you want a different future, you must be willing to do what your current self finds uncomfortable. Too many people spend years running from discomfort, never realizing that they are also running from their potential. They avoid challenges, and in doing so, they avoid transformation. But the people who achieve extraordinary things make a different choice. They walk toward difficulty. They embrace uncertainty. They understand that every uncomfortable moment is an invitation to become stronger than they were yesterday. So when life feels difficult, do not immediately retreat. When fear appears, do not automatically run. When a challenge stands before you, Do not see it as a sign to stop. See it as proof that you are approaching a new level of growth. The path may be uncomfortable. It may test your patience, your courage, and your determination. But remember this: comfort keeps you where you are. Discomfort takes you where you want to be. And the life you are capable of creating is waiting just beyond the limits of what feels comfortable today. There is one truth that every human being knows, yet very few truly live by. Your time is limited. Every sunrise that greets you is a day that will never return. Every hour that passes is gone forever. Every moment spent waiting, hesitating, or postponing your dreams is a moment that cannot be reclaimed. And yet, so many people live as if they have endless tomorrows. They tell themselves, "I'll start next week. I'll begin next month. I'll chase my dream when the time is right." But the time they are waiting for never arrives. Life does not pause while you make up your mind. Imagine an hourglass sitting in front of you. With every second, grains of sand fall from the top to the bottom. No matter how desperately you try, you cannot stop them. You cannot collect them and place them back where they were. Time moves in one direction, and it moves for all of us equally. The richest person in the world cannot buy an extra hour. The most powerful leader cannot negotiate with time. The most talented individual cannot reverse yesterday. Time is the one resource that treats every person the same, and that is why it is so precious. Many people reach the later chapters of their lives carrying a heavy burden. It is not the burden of failure, it is the burden of regret. They regret the opportunities they never took. They regret the words they never spoke. They regret the dreams they abandoned because fear convinced them to wait. They look back and realize that the greatest pain was never trying and failing. The greatest pain was never trying at all. Think about someone standing at the edge of a diving board. They spend years looking at the water below. They analyze the risks. They imagine what could go wrong. They tell themselves they will jump someday. Meanwhile, others step forward, embrace uncertainty, and leap. The difference is not talent. The difference is action. One person spent their life watching. The other spent their life living. The reality is that there will never be a perfect moment. The perfect conditions do not exist. If you wait until you have no fear, you will wait forever. If you wait until every obstacle disappears, you will never begin. Life rewards those who move despite uncertainty. It rewards those who act while others hesitate. Look at every meaningful achievement in history. Every invention, every breakthrough, every success story began with someone deciding that now was the time. Not later, not someday, now. They understood that action creates opportunity, momentum creates progress, and progress creates the future. The person you want to become is not waiting for next year. That future version of you is built by the choices you make today. Every day you delay is another day your potential remains unrealized. Every day you postpone action is another day your dreams remain trapped inside your imagination. So ask yourself a powerful question. If not now, when? How many more months will you wait? How many more years will you spend preparing for a life you never start? The clock is moving, whether you act or not. The days are passing whether you use them or waste them. One day, the opportunity to begin will no longer exist. Do not let that day arrive with regret in your heart. Act now. Take the first step now. Make the decision now, because your future is not created by what you intend to do someday. It is created by what you choose to do today. Time is your most valuable gift. And every moment is an invitation to become the person you were meant to be. Do not wait for life to happen. Step forward and make it happen while you still can.